Totally agree. It's I think that's one of the main uses of cloud is its scalability. And people have a choice. They can either go for a sort of private data center where the racks of servers where they get sold a space there to put their data on. Personally, at Clover Partners, we chose the other way. We went for AWS, world-leading hyperscaler, simply because of the flexibility, the scalability, and as Anton said, we can just ramp something up really quickly on demand and then switch it off again when it's not needed. These are the sort of things that we have in our kit bag, and that's to me is why cloud is much more relevant today in the marketplace, and why a lot of ERP systems out there only offer it on cloud. I know from our perspective as a SCARI in the UK, we don't sell SAP Business One on premise ever. It's always on our AWS cloud. And it's just that it was purpose built for that platform. So we got a relationship with Anton and with other partners around the world to actually bring AWS expertise to them without them having to learn it. So we simplify that process. And by working together, ultimately the end customer gets something that's actually really accessible, really flexible. Doesn't matter where they work, they can log into the system and then go from there. It's Our uptime with AWS is 99.995%. If you really look at on-premise servers, if you've got 80 to 85% uptime, you've done very well. It's black and white. It's really different. So from a business leader's perspective, why would you want to employ a lot of people to maintain a lot of servers in probably a very expensive air-conditioned room if they do it properly? Or, as Anton mentioned, a lot of small hook it under the stairs in a cupboard and wonder why it's not working very well when it's covered in 3 inches of dust. So it's about giving the latest technologies that the big businesses out there have taken advantage of for years is now available for small and medium-sized enterprises. And that's the huge difference. AWS is for everybody. It touches everybody's lives, whether we think about it or not. If you're dealing with Netflix, if you're watching Stranger Things on Netflix, you're using AWS. These are the sort of things that people don't think of, but we take this consumption model for granted. It's part of our everyday lives, and there's no reason why it shouldn't be exactly the same when it comes to running our businesses.